The Lofoten Islands is an archipelago of islands located in northern Norway that stretches out 180 kilometers from the mainland. They're known for their dramatic mountains, intertwined with countless lakes and the Norwegian Sea. I recently learned that there's an unofficial hiking trail that crosses the most beautiful parts in these islands, called the Long Lofoten Crossing. I attempted hiking it with my wife Ilse and my dog Rufus. There were a lot of rough trails, a lot of rain, a lot of foraging opportunities, and a lot of animals. But above all, there were so many spectacular views. I mean, how can a place like this even exist? Is Norway even real? Our plan was not to hike the whole trail because we only had 5 free days. We started over here and our plan was to hike east for as long as we could, and then our friends would come over and pick us up in their car on day 5. We set up our tent on the beautiful Kvalvika beach surrounded by very dramatic cliffs. Unfortunately for us, there was some wind in the night, so most of our stuff was buried under sand in the morning. But it wasn't a big problem because, come on, it's just sand. After that, we took down our tents and started hiking up one of these cliffs, which was 543 meters above sea level. As we started getting closer to the top, the wind started picking up. The views were just spectacular, but because of the wind, I couldn't set down my tripod or say anything to the camera. But I hope that I get at least a few points for trying. After that, we started heading down. For me, it was a bit difficult because I injured my knee a few weeks prior to the hike. I'm really glad that I brought my trekking poles because they definitely helped. The way down was fairly easy with good views over the surrounding area. After that, there was a long section of road walking to get to the next island. On our way there, I noticed a lot of blackberries growing all over the ground. A quick Google search revealed that these are crowberries. I've never eaten them before, so let's try them. They don't have a very specific taste, but they're edible and they're a bit bitter, but they do have a lot of juice in them. They grow just everywhere. As you walk here, they're completely everywhere. After 12 kilometers of walking on a paved surface, finally we were back on dirt. There were also a lot of sheep, which our dog Rufus liked very much. The sun was about to set, so we needed to start looking for a place to camp. This place was right next to the dirt road, but it ended up being an ideal campsite with perfect views. We couldn't have asked for anything better. On day 3, we were back on trail. We found a lot of wild berries and mushrooms along the way. There were some blueberries, also some cranberries, mountain ash berries, although they're too bitter to eat raw for most people, orange birch bolete, and of course some delicious porcini mushrooms. In some parts, the trail was indeed pretty rough. Rufus definitely wasn't a big fan of that. After that, we entered Nusfjord, a small Norwegian fishing village. We bought some homemade bread and coffee from a local bakery. The bread was pretty expensive, but very delicious. The weird thing about this town is that you have to pay a whopping 10 euros per person to enter it. And there's no way around it. We didn't have to pay because we entered from the west side. But if you're walking from the east, well, tough luck, buddy. Welcome to Norway. After exiting the city, we were back on trail. We set up our tent next to a small lake with no towns, houses, or roads nearby. It started raining and we were running out of gas, so I built a small fire. But before you start typing an angry comment, you're allowed to do that in Norway. And in fact, in Sweden and Finland as well. You're also allowed to pitch up your tent almost anywhere. It's called the right to roam freely. I like you, Scandinavia. I really do. On day 4, the trail got really rough. Hiking with a large dog definitely doesn't help, because we often had to carry him with our hands. After a few kilometers, the trail got better, but it started raining. It continued raining for a few more hours, but we walked another 15 kilometers on the road. So unfortunately, I didn't film a lot. We got to Leknes, the largest city in the Lofotens, and bought some snacks for the evening. Then we got out of the city and headed to a nearby hill to set up camp. Again, we were blessed with another beautiful campsite with amazing views. The Lofoten Long Crossing continues over there for another 5 days, but unfortunately we are going to go up here, up this hill, because our friends are supposed to pick us up in roughly 3 hours. I hope to complete the full trail someday, but unfortunately for now we're gonna go up there. As we went up the hill, we were greeted with some more sheep. They were really interested in us, but in the end they decided to run away. At the top, we enjoyed our last meal on this trip with some amazing views over the surrounding area. I've been in many mountain ranges across Europe, but I still think that the Lofotens are one of the most beautiful ones. It's like hiking at high altitude, only without the hassle of climbing up, and with a lot of rivers, lakes, and the sea all around. If you've never been here, you should definitely come. After that, there was a short climb down to the car park where our friends waited for us. I hope you enjoyed this short video of my adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.